Hey, what's up, guys? This is Luis Montoya from luismontoyafit.com and 1% Nutrition, also known as 1% Life. Guys, first off, let's keep it short, simple, and sweet, okay? I've been getting a lot of messages on my Instagram, which is Luis Montoya Fit. Make sure you guys are following me. If you guys aren't following yet, give me a follow because I post a lot of tips on fashion, nutrition, lifestyle, even dating tips, tons of freaking content. So you don't want to miss out, okay? So I started this new thing where I want to come back into YouTube and answer questions that I've been getting on my direct message on Instagram. So if you have a specific question regarding any of the topics that I just talked about or just anything, you want me to make a video out of it, go ahead and make sure you guys either drop it here or drop it on my Instagram. Make sure you guys are following, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you guys don't miss any new videos. I'm dropping about 2 videos per week, okay? So today's question was, someone on Instagram messaged me and they wanted me to kind of just touch up on, typical diets, things like the low carb diets, ketogenic diet, which is super popular right now, paleo diets, carb cycling, carbs in, carbs out, whatever, whatever's in right now. First of all, I want to say that I personally think that anything that you can stick to will get you results, guys. That is the thing. Everybody's looking for this magic pill, this quick fix. Guys, you just gotta be consistent. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter what type of diet that you do, they're gonna get you results if you can stick to it long term, okay? So that's the very first thing that I do wanna say about this, okay? So, next thing is I personally think these diets are, what I typically call fad diets, okay? Why? Because these are diets that are just seasonal, okay? It's like, they're just trending. You guys all remember when the paleo diet was in, then now it's like the ketogenic, then back then it was the carb cycling, the low carb, whatever it is. It's like fashion. There's always something new that comes in and, in with the new, out with the old, right? So what I want to say about these diets is they're all great in their own way, okay? So let me explain. So the question was very specific, and this person asked me to pretty much go into how do you know which diet works for you? So again, I want to keep it short and simple. What I want to say is what you want to do is you want to pick a diet that you can stick to long term, okay? So typically, if you're someone who enjoys potatoes, carbs, things like that, you're probably not gonna wanna do a ketogenic diet, okay? You're gonna be miserable, okay? If you're someone who enjoys like cheese, fats, bacon, and all that good stuff, like fats, then probably the ketogenic diet might be something you might wanna do, okay? Now, carb cycling for fat loss, all these diets serve their purpose, but carb cycling, it's probably one of the best ways to get rid of body fat, but it's also one of the most miserable ways to get rid of it, okay? Why? Because carb cycling, for those of you guys who don't know what carb cycling is pretty much you're cycling your carbs throughout the week. So you're starting off, there's so many different ways to do it, but I'm gonna give you a very simple way to do it. So there's 7 days in the week. So you start off with a high carb, mid carb, low carb, high carb, mid carb, low carb, so on. It keeps on cycling, right? So you go through the week cycling your carbs. I'm not gonna get very specific on how much carbs. That pretty much depends on every individual. Now, the downside to this diet is that one, your energy levels are gonna be low. Once you start getting into like the low carb part of the diet, you start feeling miserable. You start feeling super hungry because all you're eating is just protein and vegetables, right? And some fats. But I've done it. I've gotten super shredded off of it, but I was also miserable. Okay, so what you want to do, guys, I don't want to get too deep into this, is pretty much find a diet that's gonna fit your lifestyle and a diet that you can stick to long term, okay? Because otherwise you're just setting yourself up for failure. So what happens is, I see this all the time, you guys know that I'm one of the top online coaches in the industry, and I coach people with different methods. I know how to do all these different types of diets, and I take inventory in their life. What are they currently doing? How is their lifestyle? What are their eating habits? Even intermittent fasting is great, guys. But again, this is something that I would only recommend to someone who's like an entrepreneur, someone who's always like, on the go and doesn't really have time to eat, right? So again, you got to take inventory in your life. What is your life like? So based on all these characteristics, start picking out what type of nutrition plan can you stick to. At the end of the day, guys, if you set up your macros correctly and you're in a calorie deficit, it doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna get results if you stick to it, okay? So I'm gonna talk about a little bit about what I've done and what I currently do. So I've done low carb diets, I've done ketogenic diets, I've done, if it fits your macros, I've done carb cycling, and I've also done mid to high carb diets. What have I noticed about all these? I've pretty much felt miserable through all of them. I personally like potatoes. I enjoy eating rice. I like rice cakes. I like my oatmeal. I'm a fat kid at heart. So oatmeal to me is amazing with some peanut butter and some protein. Guys, it's amazing. So I personally like carbs in my diet, and this is something that I can stick to long term. This is the same reason why I'm always like in shape. Like you guys can see my shape. I competed about, I don't know, I think it was a month ago, and I'm still in really good shape. Why? Because I can stick to my nutrition plan, and it doesn't even feel like a nutrition plan, It's just a lifestyle to me, guys. So what does my diet look like? I normally have roughly about 200 grams of carbohydrates, which is very, very high towards, for some people, but I've gotten shredded off the same diet, just adjusting my cardio and maybe my calories a little bit. But even through my whole show prep, I had about 200 grams of carbohydrates, even through like my peak week, So why? Because this is something that I can stick to. It's super simple to prep. It's not very time consuming, and it's something that I enjoy long term. So that's pretty much the takeaway, guys. You got to find something that fits your lifestyle, something that you can stick to, and something that, you're going to incorporate foods that you enjoy. So that way you're not binging, because when you go on these like ketogenic diets or whatever it is, I don't want to like specifically throw out the ketogenic diet, but these fad diets, people tend to restrict themselves so much that this is where as soon as they get off that diet, they gain all the weight because they're always binging and they can't stick to it long term. So I hope you guys got some benefit out of this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Make sure you guys are following me at Luis Montoya Fit. And guys, I'm gonna be dropping 2 videos, maybe even 3 now, throughout the week. I wanna do nutrition, I wanna do lifestyle, I wanna do fashion, I wanna do even things like cologne and like, talk about like shoes and stuff like that. So some of you guys know that I'm a sneakerhead. I also love Chelsea boots, and I know a lot of people enjoy and really like my style of how I dress. So I wanna give you guys tips on how to level up your life, even business, on how to pretty much create a 6-figure income. All right, so guys, make sure you guys subscribe. Love you guys. Talk to you guys later.